Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. First of all, thank you for watching the previous video. Thank you very much for your support. If you're new to this channel, like, subscribe, and share it. Let's get into it.
Lola.
Okay, so today we're gonna talk about the few things I wish I knew for coming to China. So now everybody has got like unrealistic expectations. They just overthink it. They overthink a lot of things. So I was also one of those people who just over expect something. But the thing about China is, if you're coming here for school, where you go to school, that's going to determine your experience. So now, if you go to a not so good university, your experience won't be, not it won't be good at all. So now, like, these are the things you should know. You should check out universities and know that. But like, I'm just telling you my experience now. So I wish I knew the language barrier. That's number one. Okay, like the language barrier. And I thought people get to speak English. Like they speak English. Obviously, they do speak English. I did some research to say that English is not an official language. Like coming from Commonwealth countries, like we do speak English, but here it's Chinese, and they do learn English, except it's just like a subject, or you can take you can do a course and get some certificates and know that, but like they don't put it to heart like the way we do, where we get to make sure you know English. They don't at all, and even if you don't know English, it still doesn't affect you at all.
Mbona fechawe pa surface? Nalitumpa sana.
When I came to China, I was by the airport in Shanghai, and I just arrived. So now, upon arriving, my flight got canceled. I had to get on a connecting flight to Changchun, which is the city I'm in right now, and the flight got canceled. So it was very, that was a complication. And the bad part is that these international airports are like really huge. It's completely like different compared to the airports we have. And so I had to go to the other side, like on the other wing of the airport on a different floor. That's where I was supposed to get on another flight. But then the people there don't speak English. So you have to find some people who can speak English. And then, okay, I moved around. I was going from here to here. Some people will just tell you, they'll just do this, others will just pass you by. And I felt so alone. And the strangest thing is that I was the only African in the entire airport. Like the ones I came with, they left, and I was the only dude left there. And then I just felt alone. No one was speaking English. I was calling my agent. I'm telling him, yo, my flight's been canceled. He's like, okay, try to go to Shanghai Airline, because those were the ones who were responsible to take me to Changchun. I go there, they tell me, nah, go to Ethiopian Airlines. It was making sense. These guys are telling me to go this side. The other side is telling me to go this side. And which is really frustrating, because you're like, you have no idea on how things work. So I talked to my agent, and he hooks me up with this guy who works for some airline, and they get to talk to them. And they tell me, okay, come in the morning. I chilled. Yeah, I waited. I didn't even sleep at all. Like I didn't sleep. I was like, nah, I'm gonna wait until I get on that plane. That's when I'm gonna sleep. So I waited for the following day. I went by the station where the lady told me to come back, and just to find she wasn't there. And totally different people. It's like each day they've got like different people working there, and then the lady wasn't there at all. I start calling him, and then then he refers me to the Chinese guy again. The Chinese guy is telling me to get a Chinese SIM card, and at the airport they're like really expensive. It's like 300, and that's like 1,000 kwacha. Now imagine buying a SIM card for 1,000 kwacha. That's ridiculous, right? I mean, come on now. Anyway, long story short, I didn't get the SIM card though because I was like, nah, they're probably cheaper in the city than at the airport. So I just called him on WhatsApp, and luckily the call connected. And yeah, he got to speak to the guys there, and they told me to come just in the next 2 hours to get on my flight. So I did that, and I was in Chungchun. So like the language thing is pretty. It's a factor. This is good. It's a factor, and I felt it more when I was in school because we have a lot of Chinese students. If you want to come here, you have to learn Chinese, and that's something you should put to your mind. I have to learn it. Don't use Google Translate because most of them get pissed off when you're using Google Translate to communicate. So that's that. The other thing is money. Okay, money. What makes the world go round, right? They only use notes, 100 notes at the ATM. When you go withdraw your money, it's only hundreds. Only hundreds. So whatever amount you have in your card, whether you've got 640 something, you can only move 600. All that remains in there. And you can't do anything about it at all. It just stays in there. So that's that. And many people have this thing of 1,000 kwacha, like it's a lot of money. Like, oh, 1,000 kwacha it's a lot. That's like because people think things are like extremely cheap here. You cannot use 1,000 kwacha to buy a phone and clothes. You can't. It's impossible, guys. When I say impossible, it's impossible, guys. It's impossible. You
Would
cannot
I
do that.
believed?
So that's something you should also consider. Whatever they'll send you here, you better know what you're gonna be getting out of it. And also use like the currency converter so you get to know how much you can actually how much they can send you. Yeah, and that kind of thing. So that's that. You cannot use 1,000 kwacha to buy a phone and clothes. You can't. Most likely you can only get a phone and it's a really small phone. You can buy a shoe. Yeah, like you can get maybe two shoes, and but depending on the shoes as well. But you can get a shoe in it, like a good shoe, like these. There's some Air Force Ones you could get, and you can get the Samsung, like the Samsung S2, yeah S2 if I'm not mistaken, or yeah Samsung S2. But like below that, it's just a late game, guys. It's late. It's late, I'm telling you. But in terms of clothes, you could get like some good clothing. There's some good cheap stuff, probably for 40, 50, 70. Yeah, you could get some good hoodies and all that. So that's that, guys. Money, you gotta know your stuff. Definitely, you have to know your stuff. So then also, we're gonna talk about the weather, guys. Guys, the weather. Quite alright. Like Zambia is like hot, when it gets hot in October, summer. It gets cold, but it's not like cold, cold like that. This place is cold. It is cold. When I say cold, I mean cold. It's the first time I saw negative, like a negative degree. Yeah, it gets that cold, like negative 27. That's really cold, I'm telling you. You cannot walk outside with a shirt. You'll be freezing. And it's the funny part is that where I am, in winter it gets really cold, and in summer it gets really hot, like really hot, 28, 30, 35 degrees hot, that hot. So like it's been really wild, and I thought like our place is like very hot, but here it's just like both ways, very cold, very hot, and you have no idea. You cannot sleep with your windows closed unless you've got a fan, and a really good fan. But you cannot sleep. You just need that air circulation. But even if you open the windows and you have no fan, you're just gonna be feeling hot the entire time. Definitely, just that, just that, guys. Kwasil, just that. Okay, so that's that about the weather as well. Then the other thing is the spitting. the Chinese spit a lot. Like they spit everywhere, and it's irritating. You know, it it can piss you off. No, it does piss me off because when I because I'm not used to seeing that. You know, everywhere they just do it. They just, you know, they just, you know, it's just everywhere. Okay, like it's just everywhere, man. Like everywhere. So it makes you feel uncomfortable because there's some eating places you'd be eating, then you just see him, and you're just like, but you know, even where you're eating, you just spit on the floor. Like so I've seen that happen in some restaurants. Oh, guys, you have no idea. You have no idea. So if you wanna come here, be prepared to see that. Definitely be prepared to see that. So that thing is racism. Yeah, racism. And as much as the topic is, you know, as much as the topic has a lot of heat, it's unavoidable. It's unavoidable. So like, you experience that here as well. There are certain people. Let's say if you're just in a bus, like if you're in a bus, they'll just move away from you. You know, they see you, they move away from you. Just like that. Others, you might be walking in the road and then they just move to the side, just let you pass, and you're like, I'm not gonna bite you, man. Like I don't know. Like I don't know how they think exactly. But I got to have a conversation with one of them, and he told me to say he was just scared. Like he's just scared of talking to you. So then when he actually got to like speak English, he started interacting with you know, and so like it's mixed signals. Some don't like you, some are just afraid to talk to you and all that. But they get really fascinated when they see you. Like some women just pull out their phones and just take a picture of you, just out of nowhere. You know, they just take a snap, and you're just there like, okay. Some women come in front of you and just take a selfie without even asking. Some do that. Some will ask you, others won't. It is what it is, man. Like, it is what it is, man. Ish, it is what it is. But the terrible part is that in terms of taxis, some won't stop just because you look like this. It's happened to me a few times, but and we won't get into that. But if if you want to come here, you gotta know what you're in for, man. You definitely feel that. And then the last thing would be dating. Yeah, that's the last thing I have to talk about. And if you want to date here, or you can date internationals, like you can date Africans or Chinese if you have Indians and all that. But then if you want to date the Chinese, just know that you also have to learn Chinese. So just learn Chinese if you wanna talk to them. Very few of them know English, so learn Chinese. And the thing is, they are interested.
Bling, bling, bling. Hey, hot boy, bling, bling, bling.
They are interested, but you know if you don't speak the same language, then what are you gonna be doing? Sign language all the time? Like, nah, man, nah. So that wraps it up. Like that's all I had to say, and yeah, that's all I had to say today. I hope you guys learn one or two things from this. Let me know what you think in the comments, and see you next time, man. I'm out.